Hey guys, Kuroko here, and today I'll be talking for 15 minutes in front of a camera and a microphone right here, and I'll be monitoring. And so today I'll be basically I'm trying to do a new talk show type of thing, discussing the various topics about fountain pens and the channel improvements and stuff. So today's topic is the most obvious one, which is beginner fountain pens and fountain pen inks. So regarding the fountain pen inks, I will be going over two categories of inks. First one is black inks, and the second one is blue inks. Blue blacks, browns, purples, greens, reds has their own type of thing, has their own type of video, and then I have the collective for shading and sheening. But note, I am not funded by YouTube or funded by any pen company. I do not have a direct link to a retailer, and I will not have everything. So, yes, let's start the show, right? First pen, Lamy Safari, and it is collective here when I say Lamy Safari because Lamy Safari goes over the name Lamy Safari Vista L-Star. So, pen I have here is a L-Star, and L-Star is the aluminum version of the Safari, and yeah, so it has, it's aluminum, so it has a little bit more girth to it. And it's a little bit heavier than the Safari, which is made of ABS plastic, and it's pretty light. And has a little bit more weight to it. It's not necessarily a little bit more well built. I personally like the Safari a little bit more, but because it's cheaper, it's plastic, it won't crack. No, it won't dent. Sorry, once it's scratched, the paint job doesn't come off. So yeah, those are the cons. The pros is that nib is pretty good. Nib is pretty good. Nib is friction fit on the feet, so you can actually easily replace the nibs, especially if you're a beginner. You want to save a little bit of money. What you can do is you just get multiple nibs, and then you get one pen, so you can swap the nibs among those, and you can have a different type of nib. Actually, different type of pen, type of writing riff, and so you don't have to buy several of these Lamy Safaris. And even though they are pretty cheap, decently cheap, they're not the cheapest pen. They're actually the most expensive pen on the list. And yeah, so let's say something about this list here. It's pretty budget friendly. So the pen is a snap cap, and it pushes to post, and it posts really nicely. It has a nice, satisfying last inch type of very secure, tight type of feel. Sorry, and the grip section is translucent smoke, and you got a nib. That's your nib, and so yeah, Lamy nibs are steel nibs, run of the mill, unless you buy a studio and you get a 14-karat gold nib, which all Lamy pens except the 2000, which is this one, will come with the same type of nib and feed. Same types of nib and feed, and it's just different types of stuff. So yeah, that covers that. For $30 US, pretty good deal. I know some people who don't like the pen, which is definitely, it's there. There are people who do not like the pen, but mostly it's very well received. Second pen is the Platinum Preppy, and this is my Preppy. Show you that. Preppy, this is a fine nib, and it is also a snap cap. It also pushes to post, but instead of metal, this is made of plastic. If you want a metal, you gotta pay a lot more. I personally don't think this is worth it, but because I don't use Preppies, but if you do like the Preppy nib and you do like the Preppy feel, certainly the Platinum Plaisir will be a much better alternative for you, because it's made of aluminum, which is a lot more longer lasting than the cheap, very brittle plastic on this pen. So I don't know why some people like to do that, but yeah, that's the sound. And note that this is a snap cap, but it uses this the seal type of to it over time, and it just deteriorates. Yeah, overall pretty good pen. Apart from the plastic being brittle, that's the only con I can think about it. There is one. By the way, there are 5 pens on the list, and one of them is a piston filler. Just to let you know. Third pen, I don't. Second pen, I don't have it, but it's the Pilot. No, third pen is the Pilot Metropolitan, and I used to have it, but it's now broken. Pilot Metropolitan retails for $15 US. Extraordinary price. You get an aluminum bodied pen with a pretty premium feel. You know, it looks like a $50 pen, and $50 nib. So if you guys don't know, the Pilot Metropolitan nib is the same nib on the Pilot Prera and the Pilot Plumix. So you know, the Pilot Prera is kind of a pretty expensive $50 pen, and so you can swap them out in between them. So if you have a Pilot Prera already, then you can get a Pilot Metropolitan, but then I don't really see the need to. And or you want a you have a Pilot Metropolitan and you want a Pilot Prera, then you can switch in between them. Pilot Metropolitan, the nib is very, very smooth, very consistent, very nice. The flow is very wet, doesn't skip, and hasn't hard started on me. And yeah, it comes with a converter, and it comes with a cartridge, and it comes in a box where it can be a case. You know, you can bring it around, and you can put it in there, and you can bring it around. So yeah, converters, the squeeze type that comes on the Pilot Parallel, which is a calligraphy pen, which is out of this topic. And yeah, very nice pen. Can't say a lot of cons about it, and easy to clean and stuff. So yeah, next pen is the Jinhao X450. This retails for around $5 to $7 on eBay. You know, almost every fountain pen enthusiast knows this pen because it's a dirt cheap price, and you can often find it cheaper. But you know, that seems to be the average I find on eBay. You know, $5 to $7. Jinhao X450 cartridge converter pen from China. You know, these are the mass production pens that you will commonly find on eBay. It's a standard shaped pen like this. This is a Platinum 3776. The Jinhao looks very similar to that. Yes, but it's gold plated, it's gold trim, and it's more of a classic looking than a translucent acrylic like that. But yes, and it's very, very, how do I say this, very classic. The nib is I believe it's a steel nib, and it's a cartridge converter pen, comes with a converter. Only con I can flaw about it is that the converter is cheap and very brittle. Apart from that, nothing else I can say about it. Very nice nib. And by the way, it takes a number 5 or number 6 size nib. You can get a Goulet nib from the Goulet Pen Company, and to actually match the pen and put in there. I think the Goulet nibs work a little bit better, if I'm not wrong, but the Jinhao nibs are pretty okay too. Last pen is the Noodler's Ahab. This retails for $20 US on eBay on retailers. And the Noodler's Ahab is interesting because it is a flex nib fountain pen, but you can change the nib with a Goulet number 6 size nib, and it is a very consistent, very wet writing, normal writing pen, which you can use on day-to-day basis. And of course, this is a piston filler, and piston filler means you're using the, you know, let me show you a demonstration here. This is a cartridge converter. That little gold part there I'm holding on to, yeah, that's a cartridge converter. You can pull it out. There you go, you can pull it out. But a piston filler, let me try to show you this. The piston fillers around. Oh yeah, I got. Oh wait, yeah, here. Lamy 2000 piston filler basically means you're using the entire pen body here as a piston or an ink reservoir. So you have this part at the end, you have to unscrew to push the piston out, expel any air, and then suck up the ink. But the Noodler's Ahab piston is a little bit more unique. It uses a push type where there's a little plunger, you push it down, and then you pull it up again and it sucks ink. So yeah, there are different variations of pistons. but the most common one is the at the end cap. Screw it. Yeah, sorry. Screw, unscrew, and screw it back. Very common pen. Very common system. And yeah. Very nice. $20 US. Almost no problems to it, but it is an ebonite feed, and sometimes ebonite feeds you gotta tinker around with it. You gotta heat set it, and basically means you take some hot water, like 2 minutes, I think a minute or 2 minutes in a microwave. You dip it in there for 30 seconds and 20 seconds, and then you push hold the ebonite feed and the nib close to tight together for 20 seconds. That will help to heat set the pen, and yeah, it's a pretty easy process. Bright Glay has a very good very good video explaining this in detail, and yeah, overall very nice pen. So one more pen actually. This last pen is a Kaweco Sport. So Kaweco Classic Sport. The L Sport is a little bit expensive, but the Classic Sport is a short plastic pen. That's my pen folder. Okay, that was totally unintentional. So Kaweco Classic Sport, very short pen. It's a pocket pen, but once you unscrew it, post it, pretty standard pen. The pen has a tiny nib, as you can see, tiny nib, but that doesn't really affect me. To people who do, you know, sad to say, this pen may not be for you. It's a light pen, you know. It feels cheap. I think it retails for $20, $20 US, something like that. But it feels cheap. It doesn't feel the most premium, but it doesn't feel certainly as cheap as this Preppy. It definitely feels a little bit more premium than that. Cartridge converter pen doesn't come with a converter. Comes with a Kaweco cartridge. Takes standard international short cartridges, and I believe converters. I think Monteverde makes the mini converter. It fits. Screw cap. And very nice. Has the words Kaweco Sport embossed or placed onto the cap right there, and Kaweco medallion, and it's a very nice pen overall. Any cons do I have to say? The nib can be a bit dry, so you have to learn how to tinker the pen a little bit. So I don't have a lot of time left, so I'm going to quickly run over the inks. So beginner fountain pen inks for blue is Watermelon, Serenity, or Florida Blue. You know, this is an ink everybody should own. Next, it's a very free-flowing, very wet-flowing, very, how do I say this, easy to clean. No fast ink. Next ink is Pelikan 4001 Royal Blue, in case your pen is a little bit too wet and you need a drier ink. Last ink is, third ink is Jeaban Eclat de Saphir. Standard ink again. Fourth, Mueller's 54th Massachusetts. Nice shade of blue. You know, it's maybe a little bit difficult to clean, but it is permanent, so pretty cool. Fifth ink is the Daimi Majestic Blue. It is a kind of a blue, which is kind of like a Parker Penman Sapphire, but it's slightly easier to clean. For the black inks, first ink is the Noodler's Black. There's not a lot of black inks because I don't really like black inks, but first ink is Noodler's Black Bulletproof ink. Easy to clean, well behaved. Second ink is Private Reserve Velvet Black. And Private Reserve Velvet Black is a higher grade of black inks where it's really dark black. You can barely see any shading, and it's a very deep, very rich color. Third ink is Mont Blanc Mystery Black. Yeah, not Mystery Blue. Mystery Black, you know, expensive ink, but it's very nice. I don't think it's iron gall. So yeah, thanks for watching. If you want to film a Q&A video like this, it's fine. Go ahead. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoy. Peace.